So, a lot of you may or may not be aware of the fact that competition shooters fire form their breasts. We have to neck turn, we have to sometimes do other things to the breast to prep it, but one of those things include fire forming. What that means is you want to put at least one firing in that breast so you can iron everything out, get everything consistent, all the breasts the same, and then you get to size it down for your chamber, and then everything should be consistent, therefore giving you the best consistency in competition, which obviously translates to higher aggregate scores, right? Well, you have to, there's multiple ways to fire form breasts. There's cream of wheat method, you can hydroform, but we found that the best is to actually fire form it. So that means you have to put one firing through all your breasts. That means powder, primers, and bullets, right? Not only that, a barrel, So for example, the World Championship's coming up soon, and I need 800 rounds to take to the World Championship. That means I have to fire form about 1,000 pieces of brass. It all has to be prepped. So it requires quite a bit of work, but imagine firing 1,000 rounds through a barrel. And when you're fire forming, you're trying to do it as fast as possible. You really don't want to sit there and take it easy on the barrel, because in reality, all you're trying to do is fire form the breast. You're not trying to shoot small groups. You're not trying to do anything else other than fire that breast. So you're trying to do it as fast as possible. So pretty much whatever barrel you use is going to be gone after you're done with it, right? I mean, 1,000 rounds through a barrel, shooting it as fast as possible. But even shooting it really fast, it's 1,000 pieces of brass. It's going to take a long time. I mean, it's going to take days, because you can only get it so hot, right? Well, unless you do this. This right here is my fire forming rig. This is a rail gun. I have a Rimrock, a Borden BRM XD action on here. Then I have a barrel, obviously under there. I made a sleeve that is water cooled. Water comes in here. I have a, just a irrigation pump or spray pump tank. I have it filled with water and ice. The reason it's blue is because it has a little bit of coolant from my CNC machines. Water comes in here, fills up the pipe, goes out here. The reason it's on top is so it can bleed out all the air. And this right here is just simply a spacer. And then I have a nut on the end of the barrel, and that clamps everything together. It clamps it here with a big washer, and then back here obviously goes up against the block. So it's all ready to go. The beauty about this is obviously you don't have to stop. Well, we stop every 100 rounds or so to clean the barrel. We don't want carbon to build up, because then that's going to increase pressures, and you could potentially ruin your brass if the pressure gets too high, because then now you're just going to loosen all the primer pockets. We fire form with a relatively light load. We come off about 1 grain from our max loads. You don't want to ruin your brass fire forming it. You want a light load. You just want enough so that it fire forms, so that it forms to your chamber and all the brass is the same. But anyway, this is the fast way to do it. Today I'm doing 285 rounds, and it should only take about less than an hour. If I had to do 1,000, I could do it all by noon or so. But anyway, this is how it's done. One thing I forgot to mention is we have this wire, and it's going to the trailer port, and we just keep our running lights on, and that powers the tank. We have a switch right here, and when we fire it up, you can see it starts pumping. We do the honors. Also, we're shooting into a berm. All right, go ahead. Hardly any recoil. Should probably turn it on. Well, there you have it. That's the fire forming rig. We got 285 to go, and you can see it can be done that fast.
Here it's sizzling.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Sitting there boiling off.
That's how you fire form 285 pieces of brass in less than an hour. So what I did is every 100 rounds or so, I would patch it out, make sure the carbon was out of there. Obviously, I'm not going to get it all, just enough. I don't want carbon to build up enough that it causes pressures to go up, therefore ruining my brass. I just wanted to stay consistent. This is super cold right now. Obviously, this last 6 inches, which are not water cooled, are pretty hot. Can't even touch it. So, I don't know. I guess I can cut that barrel off right here and then just eliminate this extension. But it works perfect. So all the brass is fire formed. The next step is to load a match load for it and take it to a match, see how it does. The other way that we sort this brass, this has all been neck turned, and when we load it all, we run it through the amp press, and that's one way that we sort this brass. We sort it by pressures. Anyway, we just kind of keep trickling down that consistency funnel, you know, and whatever comes out at the end is pretty much the best brass that we can get, most consistent. But this is sure gonna help, because it used to take us days to do this, right, Jason?
Yeah, this would be, 100 rounds would be all day. It'd take me 3 days to.
Yeah, because you know it gets hot and it's 100 degrees out here. So, yeah, it would take 3 days. Now it took an hour. So, I guess that just
Much more better.
gonna pay for itself. See, we couldn't afford not to do this, right, Jason?
Yeah.
This is what's known as an investment, because it's saving us so much time. Anyway, that's all I got. I just wanted to show you guys how we fire form brass nowadays. This is the first time though that we've done this, and it freaking love it. Love it. All right. See ya. Keep them center.